Thank you. Anyone who has joined, we're just kind of going to go over today mattress recycling in Oregon, our next steps, and community action. I am Darcy Perez. I am the Oregon Program Coordinator. But yeah, get going. A couple of things before we get started. I have my colleague here, Bennett. He's going to be assisting me today. He'll be dropping useful links in the chat as we move through the presentation, and also just helping during Q&A at the end. If we can just reframe for the questions at the very end and use a Q&A function, this gives us a better record of them. And if we don't have time to answer any of them, we can follow with you afterwards. We have everyone's emails who registered, so you can get a copy of today's slides. Feel free to share them, or we can always, you know, I'll have my information as well, so you can reach out to me and we can take it offline as well. So we'll get started. So who we are really is ISPA, International Sleep Products Association. It's a trade association for the mattress industry. And ISPA created the Mattress Recycling Council, a nonprofit organization that to provide states with a mattress recycling solution, or a nonprofit for the bedding industry. And we administer the program, contracting with vendors, all that in that aspect. And then MRC created a consumer-facing brand, which is Bye Bye Mattress. Again, that's more for the consumer part of it. And then this is, we've been running mattress recycling program in other states for 10 years now. Oregon is our fourth state where we operate, and I wanted to highlight our lifetime numbers and the impact we've had. So we've recycled about 17 million units and 600 million pounds, equaling to 16.8 million cubic yards. So all that has been diverted from the landfill, which is a huge win. And then hopping into just the overview of the Oregon's Mattress Stewardship Program, why this is available, how we got here. So in 2022, the Oregon legislature passed the Mattress Stewardship Act, which requires the recycling of mattresses and box springs in the state of Oregon. Our plan was approved by DEQ in 2024, which allowed us to implement the program January 1st of 2025. So we've been officially running the program or live since last year, 1 year anniversary. And that was approved, like I said, by DQ, and now we're currently recruiting collection sites and event hosts, and again, creating multiple solutions for across the community. When you get the chance, you can see our approved plan here. And kind of diving into the overview of how and what it funds. So how it works is there is a stewardship assessment fee on every new mattress and box spring that qualifies for the 2250, and that's per unit, per mattress, and per box spring. Our retailers are required to collect the assessment fee, and then they remit to us every month on that fee. And what it funds really is collection, transportation, and processing. When that's, handling rates for collection sites, all the transportation for every site, every event that we have, that covers education and outreach, materials for sites, different marketing events to promote the program, illegal dumping studies as well. So that's really how and what it funds and how it works, again, for our processing for the recyclers as well. And so mattress shoppers since last year, January 1st, have been paying this fee. But any mattress, no matter when purchased, if you purchase in 2020, in 2023, 2015, it's able to be dropped off, regardless of its condition, for free. And then this is just kind of an overview of what happens to the materials. I think it's a good visual of what a mattress gets decomposed to. So we have different layers here. The first layer is foam and fabric. It's shredded and blended into carpet padding. And then we have kind of the cotton fibers, which is used in insulation products, as well as the next layer for steel springs, whether that's in the box spring or the mattress. It's recycled to metal scraps for multiple purpose rebar and other steel products. And then we have the wooden frames. It's shredded to landscaping mulch or burned as an alternative fuel source. So it's pretty neat what it gets converted down to. And then kind of moving on here to our network update, where we are now in 2026, a year into the program, and the status of our implementation. So recycling across Oregon, currently, again, we have three recycling facilities. We have one here, based out of Portland, so one in Portland, ECR. We have another one in Eugene, and that is DR3. And then our third recycler is in Klamath Falls, Klamath Works. So a good range of the state. And then at the time right now. These numbers are always changing as we're actively recruiting, but as a snapshot for today, we have 34 permanent collection sites, and that's located throughout 15 counties. And you can find that information, where they're located, all of our sites, through our Bye Bye Mattress link. It's the locator, and so you can kind of see all those sites. We have 27 events currently planned in 2026. This number will definitely change as well. So these are the counties where at least one collection location in those counties. And yeah, and then we are currently, like, again, actively just marketing them, making sure the community is aware where these sites are, their hours, and to be utilized. But we know we're always happy to work with anyone, whether on the city, county level, to help promote this and spread the word. We have different social media graphics and flyers for any of these sites, and these events to increase participation. Again, and these are the collection sites again. Are missing one here, Wasco County, but these are the 15 counties with sites that have at least one um, collection event. And like I said, this is our publicity toolkit that we have, that we can provide flyers and different marketing content. Um, Again, these are collection events. So these are counties where we have a scheduled event, at least one scheduled for this year. If you're willing to help spread the word for the upcoming event, if you're located in any of these counties, we're more than happy to partner up with you and help spread the word, again, on a city or county level. In some of these counties, we have a quarterly events going on, so it's not just one event. So yeah, we would greatly appreciate any partnership or any way to continue to spread the word, whether it be if you guys have your own newsletters, anything like that. We are always happy to just connect and work together to make sure residents are aware that these events are coming to their area. And I'm going to pass this over to Justine, and she will introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Justine Fallon. I'm the Vice President of Operations at the Mattress Recycling Council. So I'm just going to talk a little bit today about illegal dumping. Under SB 1576, which is the mattress recycling law in Oregon, we're required to address illegal dumping. So we, in our approved plan to the Oregon DEQ, we proposed a three-stage approach to looking at illegal mattress dumping in the state. So in 2025, we really just wanted to get a lay of the land, who's working on it, how they're tracking it, how it's impacting different communities, what the sources of what they believe the source of the material to be. So we did some targeted stakeholder discussions within the state, just to have some initial learnings and to really kind of understand who's working on it in the state. And then stage two will start this year. And that's really collecting data. So we're working with a consultant who we're going to be sending out a survey to all the counties in the state. So that will likely trickle down to cities and other jurisdictions within a county to gather any data that you might have on illegal mattress dumping. The reason why we want to do this is we understand the scope of the problem. It will also tie into the third stage, which is issuing an RFP at the end of this year for 2027 pilot study funding for jurisdictions across the state, or anybody who has a project that they want to work on that's related to eradicating illegal dumping, educating residents about illegal dumping, or any enforcement efforts that you might want to undertake, or maybe even a mix of all three of those things. So that data will help us understand if a project is done, and then we measure afterwards, then we can see if the project was successful. We already do that in the state of California. We've been doing pilot studies for a number of years now. We have about 7 projects that have been completed or are in progress right now. And what we do at the end of those is we summarize them and post case studies on our website. They're available right now to really anybody who wants to take a look at them to see what different tactics people tried, if they worked or if they didn't work. So if you were interested in doing something, there might be there are summaries about why something didn't work, that when they tried to apply it. So those are always available, and we're hoping that we can expand that to Oregon projects and be able to add to our knowledge base around illegal dumping. So if anybody is working on illegal dumping, please feel free to reach out to Darcy or myself. We're really trying to still understand who's doing what in the state, and also if you have illegal dumping data, we'd love to get that from you. So if anybody ever wants to just chat or talk about any insights on illegal dumping within the state of Oregon or your community, please reach out. Thanks, Darcy.
All right. And then let me kind of move on here. So, and this is kind of our next steps of take action, where how local governments can get involved, where we're looking for help and support this year of 2026 as we try to, again, make sure we're having a permanent location or giving residents access all over the state of Oregon. This is where we're focusing a majority of our resources in 2026. It's our high priority counties, as we'd like to call them, to establish collection sites or recruit events in these counties. Benton, Clackamas, Clatsop, Columbia, Coos, Crook, Douglas, Hood River, Josephine, Marion, Polk, Tillamook, Umatilla, Union, Wasco, Washington, and Yamhill. We highly prefer collection sites. That's always our ultimate goal in these counties. That is, I think, the most accessible for residents year-round. But we are open to events. They're also a good way for people to trial our program and see if it works, kind of see how we operate, what it's like to work with us. So, and it's also events. It's another way for residents to have access to our program one way or another. But yeah, if we can find an area that can have that infrastructure for a permanent site, that is our number one go-to first. Um, yeah, so there's different ways we have to kind of work with us in these high priority counties. And so I'll kind of be walking through them. It's one of them is to become a collection location. And again, each mattress diverted from a disposal reduces or avoids costs and really improves facility metrics. One way for transfer stations, it avoids transportation and disposal cost. Landfills obviously benefits from improve compacted rate and it decreases overall operating cost. And for thrift stores and other reuse organizations, it's a way to manage donations and collect more inventory for reuse or resale. And then so that's one way for those counties to kind of join our program. Um, the second way is we support how we support our collection sites is we have a dedicated program coordinator, which is me, to answer really your any questions all year round, visit the site, conduct trainings, and that could be in-person trainings, videos, handouts to screen, stack, and load properly. Just also finding different solutions for your site, whether that be, some sites are bigger than others, there's space constraints. We have a variety of different transportation tools and solutions, whether that be for training, and then an online portal to easily request container pickups and retrieve data on how many mattresses you're collecting, access for you. And so, yeah, that definitely helps instead of having to wait for someone to, you can automatically do it at any given time. And we have a bunch of outreach resources, whether that's including graphics, flyers, educating your residents. Again, publicity toolkits and signage. It does help to have signs at your location to say you're participating and a part of the program. We can have there's different signs of excluding what products, things like that. So it's easier on the site. We definitely support you there. I think there was one slide missing on the events, but we also do events as well. We again, we provide solutions all for an event. We provide um, in terms of just transportation. We take care of all the transportation if you're going to have an event. And we also provide the labor. So we come in, we have our own labor crew. So they screen, they load. The mattresses into the trailer that we provide as well. We leave your site clean just as we found it, making sure there's no mattresses left over. So it's really a turnkey event. We just ask the host for permission to use the location or parking lot. And we also, again, provide publicity toolkit, making sure that we are informing residents about those locations. And then again, we just have extensive resources for, again, events, consumers, collection sites, whether that be training videos, collection guidelines, and then you have me as your resource if any questions come up or anything is ever just out of the norm, out of not finding it in any of those guidelines. I'm here to support and kind of help you navigate through any problems. Another way we support our collection sites is through site improvement funding. MRC provides up to $15,000 to improve your site, whether that be through equipment funding or to make operations safer and more efficient. We've prior projects where we've supported has been weather coverings, like a shed, something to keep the mattresses wet, like dry from the wet weather, cement pads to protect the mattress integrity, like forklift attachments, mobile ramps, paved, a new paving, all that kind of really it's a site application funding. There's the link on this slide as well. Once we're done, you can definitely click on these links to know more. But any other questions, feel free to reach out to me specifically, and I can walk you through the application. So definitely is something to utilize. Here is an example of in California where they needed a ramp to just make it easier for them to load mattresses into their trailer for a site. So we're really here to support in any way that we can. Um, oh, here's the event slide. So yeah, like I said, it's labor is provided, transportation is included as well. And then we provide signage the day of and making sure it's clear that we're there and we're hosting an event. Um, So yeah, overall, that's really what we're looking for here. We're looking for support anywhere if anyone can help us kind of spread the word in terms of our high priority counties, looking to recruit, whether that be permanent sites or events. Yeah, basically, if any of that you're willing to help us or know of anyone that wants to host an event or a location that could have the infrastructure to have a permanent site, we are open to having those conversations. But yeah, now I kind of leave it if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to utilize the Q&A feature to ask any questions that we can answer and get to. In the meantime, I will just have this screen up. That way you just have my information. Again, we'll be sending these slides as well at the very end to the email that was registered for the webinar. That way you guys have a copy of them. But here's my information if you directly just want to email me or um, give me a ring. Thanks, Travis. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to all the events planned, and like I said, we're open to having them in different communities, neighborhoods, and we really want to support and make sure our program is accessible to all Oregon residents. We currently have had for Oregon, it's about 130. We've recycled 130,000 mattresses, over 130,000 mattresses in 2025. So that's how many mattresses. A good about around I think 1,200 or so were used to reuse. A big partner with us was Community Warehouse. They accept if we try to inform the public that if they have a good condition reusable mattress that they take their mattress there instead of other sites so they can be reused instead of recycled. Um,
And just to get to the other, uh, I think she was asking how many mattresses are brought in and recycled. Like Darcy said, we had 130,000 last year, which, we feel pretty good about. Um, the if you're thinking about your own specific site, it's really going to be rely on a variety of factors like how populated your location or your city or your community is. So we can't really say any one site can expect a certain number of mattresses. It's really just going to depend upon, how many people are, in the vicinity that might use it.
And yeah, after I think Travis, after every event, if we ever host an event with you or partner up in a city or county, I once we kind of get all the numbers, once event is done, I always try to share the numbers if you request them. That's always I'm always open to sharing how many mattresses were collected at your event as well, just to see how many mattresses were diverted from being sent to landfill.
And we will, in our annual report, which will be submitted in July, we will be breaking down we'll be breaking down the mattresses that we received by the different regions. And that will kind of follow the DQ regions that they have. So you'll get a better sense of seeing like where those mattresses came from. Um, I think that, does anybody else has any questions? Is there anything else, Darcy, that you have or?
No, I think that wraps up. Like I said, any questions that came up, definitely feel free. We'll be sending the slides out. Feel free to share with colleagues, anyone that you know, my information as well, just so I'm more than happy to sit with anyone, and just kind of go over the program more in detail. If you need help funding, application, anything like that, feel free to let me know. And yeah, I'm more than happy to work and just kind of answer any of those questions. But yeah, thank you guys for your time, for joining, and any questions. Yeah, we'll be in contact.